how's Audrey?
Audrey, well, she's not too well. So she put herself on an election footing, of course, and now she's had to draw in her horns.
Yes, because Audrey gets election fever very badly.
Very bad. Well, she just takes to her bed and watches News 24 all the time. I have to sleep in the dog's room.
I mean, Gordon Brown isn't going to call an election in the middle of the night.
Well, I don't know. She thinks he might have, let something slip to a Japanese journalist for 3 in the morning.
No. In any case, he's got a constitutional duty to tell Mariella Fostrup first.
Oh, yes, I suppose so.
So, how's Audrey taking it? Is she very disappointed?
Well, she's very much in two minds. I mean, she thinks on the first she should have given Gordon a mandate, and then she thinks maybe she should have waited until she's seen what sort of vision he has for the country.
Well, that's a coincidence, because that's exactly what Gordon said.
Yes. Yes, well, she's always thought very much like Gordon.
Is she?
Especially on macroeconomic policy. Yes.
Oh, yeah. So it has nothing to do with the opinion polls?
Oh, no, neither of them have paid any attention to opinion polls.
And Gordon said to Andrew Marr that he was going to show the country how much he could change.
Yes, well, he can do that all right. I mean, one day he wants an election in 3 weeks, the next day he doesn't want one for 2 years.
I think it would have been better if he'd just come out and said, we had a 10-point lead in the polls, so I was going to have a snap election, and then we were 4 points behind, so I thought I wouldn't have a snap election.
Yeah.
I mean, at least that would be honest.
Honest, exactly. He'd have been very popular if he'd have said that. He might very well have gone back to having a 10-point lead.
And then he could have said, let's have a snap election.
These days, the polls seem to switch round all the time. I mean, they never used to. I don't know how it happens.
Well, I don't know. I mean, in my case, I've always been a loyal supporter of the government.
Yes, you have. Yes.
Well, most of Tuesday.
Yes.
And then I heard about the inheritance tax, so I went over to the Tories.
Yes.
And then I heard that our brave lads were coming back from Iraq, so I went back to the government, And then I heard Dave Cameron's speech, and I went back to the Tories.
Yes.
And then I heard the government's plans for inheritance tax, so I went back to the government. And then I saw Gordon Brown's pathetic performance in, Question Time. And so I went back to the Tories.
Yes, but you've always been somebody who's thought very deeply about politics. Haven't you?
Yes. Yes, I have.
Yeah.
And,
But I saw David Cameron's speech to the Conservative Party Congress.
Well, it was amazing.
Oh, it was extraordinary. Absolutely extraordinary. I mean, I don't know how he did it. To talk for over an hour without using any ideas.
No, without using notes or the auto cue.
Oh, well, then to that side, that was just a stunt. I mean, most politicians will talk for 10 days without stopping if you gave them the chance.
Yeah, I'll tell you what was a stunt. Gordon Brown going to Iraq.
Well, I don't know. I mean, he might have been at a loose end. He might have had some air miles he wanted to use.
Well, yes, but I mean, that was just a way of getting some cheap votes. That's all it was. I mean, talk about spin. I don't trust Gordon Brown. And if we had an election, he would have got out to any kind of tricks that he could. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the night before the election he went on television and said, look what I found, and held up little Madeline McCann.
Well, I don't know. The trouble is, if you can't trust a politician, who can you trust? But, I mean, to be honest, I'm quite glad there's not going to be an election, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
What? You're actually looking forward to it?
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
Oh, God, what were you going to do?
Well, it's because, I wanted to make my point. I wanted to protest against this whole farrago of an election, which I think is just dishonest and contemptible.
So what were you going to do?
I was going to start a political party.
Well, what sort of party?
A protest party.
Yes.
The kind, you know, I'm going to call it the Don't Vote Party.
Yes.
And it will be a sort of antidote to the actual election. And so, you see, I wouldn't have any leaflets.
No.
I'd have no meetings.
No.
I wouldn't do any opinion polling.
No.
You know, I certainly wouldn't drive people to the polling
Well, so
station.
what would you do?
Nothing. I'd sit in the pub all day.
But that's all you do anyway.
No, but I'd be sending a signal that we mustn't tolerate this cynical manipulation of the public.
But how would people know they were sending a signal if all you did was what you did every other day of the year?
Oh, well, you see, in the end, there would be a concrete result.
No, you've lost me. Sorry.
Well, tell me, what's the average turnout in this constituency?
Oh, I don't know. 40, 45%, something like that.
Well, there you are, you see. When the election is over, the Don't Vote Party would have the largest share of the poll.
Well, I've made a decision that for the next 2 years I'm going to drink nothing but beer.
What's that got to do with an election?
Well, because I'm not going to drink tap water because I'm worried that the government might put something in it which makes you vote Labour.
Well, I'll drink to that.
Yeah.